Are y'all feeling good? Okay, y'all have like 100 people in this room. I hear like 10 people replying to me. How's everybody feeling today? Are y'all feeling great? Yes! Very good! Yay! Let's give each other a round of applause. Woo! Okay, please feel free to move around the room, take photos, but don't come and cover Esme because she's the star. She wants to be the star of the day, even though Cassandra is the star. Okay, so before we talk a little bit about the book and talk to Cassandra, of course, I just have some people we want to invite, some people that we want to welcome. So first, of course, we have Mr. Sam Tan, who is our Minister of State for the Ministry of Social and Family Development. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Minister of State. Thank you so much, Mr. Tan. And of course, we have Miss Ashlyn Dwyer, our Deputy Head of Mission for the Embassy of Ireland, and of course our friends from the Embassy as well. Thank you so much for being here and always being very supportive. I know that for sure. Thank you. Is our nominated Member of Parliament here, Miss Anthea? Oh, she's not here yet. Okay, but she's going to be in shortly. And of course, oh yeah, thank you. Lao Liao, this is like 10 years ago. the Lauren. Of course, we have somebody very special as well, Mr. Sin Boon An, consultant, Drew and Napier, and very crucial to the guide dogs. He's known as the Godfather, not the kiss the ring type, not that kind of Godfather, but he is regarded really as the Godfather because a very long time ago, and I remember this, he asked a very important question in Parliament, which was what was Singapore's stand towards the blind using guide dogs in public places. So this, of course, led to legislative and policy changes towards the blind using guide dogs in Singapore. We have Mr. Sin Boon to thank for. Unsung hero, this one, okay? And of course, Dr. William Wan, the General Secretary of Singapore Kindness Movement, also very, very supportive of Cassandra and her work. Thank you, Dr. Wan, for being here, and who wrote an amazing blurb in the book as well. Thank you, Dr. Wan. And we also want to welcome the representatives from the Ministry of Social and Family Development, the National Council of Social Services, and of course Temasek Holdings as well. Thank you for being here with us. But of course to all of you for taking time off your Saturday afternoon to be here with us for this very, very special event. And we also want to acknowledge and thank Mr. Desmond Lee, the Minister of Ministry of Social and Family Development. He's unable to make it, unfortunately, but he sends his best wishes and of course beautiful flowers to the event, and has also been very supportive of Cassandra and her work. We want to acknowledge our friends who are not here able to make it today with us. Professor Tommy Koh, Ambassador at Large, he wrote an amazing kind of foreword for the book. Former MP Dr. Toh See Kiat and Mr. Chu Hock Yong, Permanent Secretary MSF, all who were instrumental in making it very possible for the blind like Cassandra to realize the potential and independence with their guide dogs. Right, Esme? Right on?
Absolutely.
Okay, and of course we have Dr. Jessica Leong, who's also not here today. She contributed to the blurb in the book as well. Now comes to the meaty part. Let me introduce two very, very special females. I say females because one is two-legged, one is four-legged.
One's a woo dog.
Yeah, the woo dog and the woman. Okay, so don't get them confused. Now, she is the first guide dog funded by the generosity of fellow Singaporeans, and of course has captured the heart. She's very chill today. She's like, I'm very chill. Captured the hearts of Singaporeans with her own Facebook page. Take out your phones and follow now. And then on Instagram, it's Esme, the Global Service Dog. Okay, so follow. And of course, our author, somebody who I've deeply admired for a very long time. She's a psychotherapist by profession, a social advocate, not by choice, but by calling. Her belief is to change what it means to be disabled for herself, her community, and society at large. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me. Give your warmest and loudest applause to Esme and Cassandra. Okay, I'm going to sit down now. Can you also see me?
Please.
Now, Cassandra, it's really my pleasure to be here with you today.
Thank you for joining me today and,
No,
and
absolutely.
helping me bring the message.
No, absolutely. By the way, sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Eunice. Sorry.
Eunice who?
No, never mind my
Eunice,
button.
amazing altar.
Thank you, Cassandra. You're very sweet. Of course, this book that you wrote called A Place for Us is, I've had the pleasure to read it, and it's really, really engaging, very personal, very intimate, and I felt as if you put like a little GoPro on your head, and because everything that you described in the book, I could visualize really, vividly, and it was really amazing reading it. I read it in like one day. By the way, it's a very good book. Please buy for all your friends. Everybody, buy at least 2 copies, okay? I think maybe we just get into the heart of it, and maybe we can start by talking about kind of what motivated you, to write this book, A Place for Us.
The truth is, when the idea of this book kind of came to be, I was lying on a futon at the top floor of Roppongi Hills, Mori Towers in Tokyo, and meditating with some 90-something-year-old guru. When this bright
Sounds very
idea.
intense.
But the idea that came to me was that all your friends have been telling you, write a book about your experiences with Esme, and it should be entitled "The Trouble Is."
Right.
With all the trouble that we have gotten into.
Read the book, you'll find out why.
Yeah. But I did a lot of reflection, and I thought to myself that, yes, there's been a lot of trouble with the big lock, but the issue with that I faced, that many of my fellow blind compatriots who have guide dogs face as well, isn't about big log in Singapore, but more so about the attitudes towards disability, our Asian attitudes towards disability. We're not used to seeing disabled people running around, leading a life, and going about things. So I thought that with this book, I hope that I can send the elevator down and bring some people up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that we can all kind of create this more welcoming space, a place for us.
Fantastic. Now, if you look at the book, it's kind of divided into, like before Esme, and then kind of going towards getting Esme. That was a whole production as well. And then meeting Esme, training with her, and then finally your life after Esme. And you think like, oh, this is great. And then you read on, you're like, oh my goodness, it's not done yet. So a lot of things, obviously there was, it was divided into these 3 specific areas. Can you tell us a little bit, maybe just for everyone here to know, the main difference between kind of your life before and also after Esme?
Before Esme, I was just an ordinary person going about my life, training to be a counselor at that point in time before I graduated.
Yep.
Just kind of bumbling along.
Okay, I just want to say, you are never ordinary.
No.
Please.
Yeah. So after Esme, someone put a firecracker on my butt, and that being Esme, and she, unfortunately, is my fur lari.
I like that.
Yeah. So she put the rocket on behind me, and I just kind of flew forward. So many things happened since 2011 that I got Esme. I've done so many more things. I've become so much more independent. My confidence, the dignity, the safety, my mobility, first and foremost, was accelerated to like notch 10th notch, right? But with the good also comes the difficult and the ugly, both friends and detractors coming forward. But she showed me so much, and with the challenges that we face, that's kind of what where the accidental advocate, how I label myself, was born. Because I never, when I was born in 1979, like some 40 years ago, asked my mom and dad, I don't think they wanted me to be an advocate. They didn't even think about it. Perhaps a nurse or something like that, who knows. But anyways, with the challenges that we went into, Esme and I, that's what sparked this journey into being a social advocate, because I felt that I didn't want 50, 100 years down the road for fellow Singaporeans with vision loss like myself who wanted and needed a guide dog to face the same unceremonious disposition of being dragged out of places, having my ribs cracked whilst getting on the public transport, etc. And that,
a lot of people don't know that, actually, right? I mean, that's why I read the book.
Yes.
But one of the, maybe just one of the things, like, because for a lot of us, we might not understand, like, okay, you have a guide dog, like, what is the, like, for example, a small small thing that you used to find very, very difficult to do? How has Esme made that really easy? Just to demonstrate.
I work on Orchard Road and off Orchard Road, and it's really, really crowded, as all of you know. And getting from my office in Tanglin Shopping Centre, sometimes I try and walk a little bit, get some exercises, go to Takashimaya for lunch or something, or Lucky Plaza. And previously, in my white cane, it was horrible, trying to get through the Orchard underpass, not seeing people stepping on my cane, me bumping into people, and worst of all, because I'm a very kanchong spider.
Like me.
I hate to walk like really, really slowly, limited by the 48 inches of my cane. Esme has given me that freedom because she can see not 48 inches, but 6 feet, 12 feet, and she can weave me around people and crowd. And even when I got off buses, some of my blind friends were telling me that, hey, Singapore, this was about 5 years ago. Singapore nowadays got a lot of those concrete bollards when you get out of the bus stops. You gotta be careful. And I went, what bollards are you talking about? I didn't come across any. Maybe we are on a different bus route. Only until much later I realized that they were there all along. It's just that they melt away because Esme brought me around them. Right. So they're no longer obstacles for me. And that's the kind of freedom in terms of mobility and also keeping me safe that she has done for me. And countless occasions where she saved my life.
Wow, so huge transformation.
Absolutely.
Now, this book, of course, there are so many messages within the book. When you read, it's not just very personal, it also relates to our society. But what are some of the key messages that you want people to take away from this book?
As a good professor likes to say, the 3 points.
Yes, the 3 points, please. Thank you. Summary. Singaporeans like summary.
Yeah, 3 points. I would say, first and foremost, right, the very premise that we're talking about inclusivity means that we're excluding. And to me, that's quite sad, and I hope to be able to change that with this book. The second point is that, which I touched on a little earlier just now, that our Asian attitudes towards disabilities can disempower persons with disabilities because many charities, because of our culture, our religion in this part of the world tends to see disabled persons as objects of charity, objects of pity, and we're given a lot of kindness, a lot of handouts, dollars, fishes, whatever you want to call it, right? But that doesn't give us the ability to lead our life to the fullest, to do things. One kind of simple example I gave in the last chapter of the book was about taking a taxi home late from work one day. It was an elderly taxi driver. It was probably sounded like 60 plus, 70. He didn't want to take any money from me, and I felt so bad because I only had $50 in my wallet or my credit card, and he didn't want any of it. So he wasted his 20 minutes, half an hour sending me home. But that wasn't the end of it. He insisted on walking me upstairs to my apartment because he didn't want me to fall down, which I kept reassuring him that I won't. But that sort of kindness, that's a good kind of kindness, but it also mollycoddles a lot of disabled people like myself, such that we don't really learn to stand on our own feet and spread our wings and reach and achieve our potential. And more importantly, and the last point, right? It's very much about our hardware, our infrastructure. I'm really, really fortunate in Singapore to have so many accessible, the tactile flooring, our MRT is amazing, etc. I can go anywhere on my own. Our heart, HARD ware is perfect, but our heart, HEART ware, I think there's still a little bit of way to go, and that's why I'm hoping to do with this book, such that we can bring more up the elevator,
yes.
And we can help more people achieve that.
And I think you have achieved that with that book. I think a lot of people who read it will feel very encouraged, and also I think become more aware of what it means to be blind or just have a disability in Singapore. What were some of the main challenges? Maybe talk to us about that in writing the book. What do you have to overcome?
The first challenge was very much my literacy skills. I am functionally illiterate. I cannot spell.
Like me. Spelling's very bad.
I guarantee you I'm worse, and you can check my publishers. We had so many giggles and laugh because only very, very last minute did we catch it. Just before the book went out to print, I spelt the branch of a bank as BRUNCH, and then we were all just rolling on the floor.
Favorite time of the day, branch. Yes.
Yeah, so that was one challenge that I faced because there'll be going to be so much proofreading to do. But I'm very thankful that I had lots of friends that were behind me, that were helping me, safeguarding my message as well as what I was writing, and making sure that my spelling wasn't all over the place. and the second kind of more important challenge in the message of the book was actually protecting my family and my little girl.
Right.
Because to me, I think as a mother, my first responsibility is to protect my child. And with the amount of flack that I get from being an advocate, I don't want to inadvertently bring any harm to my family because of that. And therefore, I tried very hard to keep their identity private in this book.
You also wrote very beautifully about becoming a mother, and I think that's
the best role of my life.
Yeah, I mean, it's really one of my favorite parts of the book as well. It was very nicely articulated and very beautiful, very heartwarming journey as well.
Thank you.
Why was it so important? And I know you've covered this a little bit in our introduction, but why was it so important to you deep down inside to make sure that this book gets published, or to write this book?
I think I would say, besides the message that I have to bring about genuine inclusivity to my audience, it's also why it's important to me. It's kind of to bring the voice of someone with a lived experience of disability to the singlet landscape. There aren't many. As far as I know, in Singapore, I think this will probably be the first. There were other books written by parents or caregivers of disabled people, but not from the disabled voice itself. And that's something that I hope to be able to bring to the table, so that we can together, not just myself, of course, co-create a sustainable future for persons with disabilities.
Fantastic. Now, there's of course some of the parts of the book, I think even for a reader, was very hard to read, and I can't imagine, just reading it and thinking about what you had to go through. It was very raw, it was very honest. I thought that was actually very important. But like for yourself, why did you feel the need, or why was it important to you to give that kind of that very raw voice to some parts of your experience?
I think I would say first and foremost, I'm not a porn star, and my art form isn't inspirational porn. So it's not about prettying up what my life is about. I'm just an ordinary person, as I said earlier, and it's not about dressing things up and making things seem prettier than they are. I try to bring reality, like you mentioned earlier, that GoPro sort of effect, to the book, and to how I narrate and write the story as well, so that with the aim and hope that, minus the wrapping paper, with the naked truth, we can really look at where we are in reality, and what can be done to bring us one step closer to that utopia of a place for us.
It's almost addressing the elephant in the room, right? Because it's like the ugly part of it that you choose to kind of discuss and write very, kind of honestly about it, and bring a very honest voice to it. Now, there was something in the book that really struck me. There was I think a lot of us know about the Zara incident.
Absolutely.
That happened. Yeah. And when I read that aspect of it, something in it really struck me when it was said that after the whole incident had happened, and somebody said that you should have just come again another day instead of staying on to say, this is what I need, I want to go into the store. So that kind of that sentence, what you should have come again another day, that actually really hurt me in a way as well. I mean, I can't imagine how you would have felt, because it made me think about kind of the society that we are, or that we want to be, which is what I said about the book. What kind of comments or feelings do you have about that?
I would say that because of the incident, I kind of stepped away from the role of an advocate for a couple of years. I took a break because the reality is I couldn't take it. I am human, after all, and it was really, really raw and painful that the very, very people that gave me this independence felt this way, that I should come back another day. And one of the things I've always believed in and fought for in my life is to stand on my own feet and to be as normal as possible, to go to work, to hopefully go shopping, have a bit of money to go shopping after work, and take public transport home just like everyone else.
Now, you chose to honor, of course, three women, two women and one wudong in the book. Your mom, your daughter, and of course, Esme. Why was it important for you to dedicate? I mean, in fact, right at the beginning of the book, when I read it, I already started crying. I was like, oh no! It was really heartwarming, that message that you had for Esme, and why was it important to you to dedicate this to her?
Well, the reality is no Esme, no advocate, no Cassandra the advocate, no book. And this book wouldn't have been without her. And she showed me so much of what living life to the fullest means. She showed me what being normal is like. So definitely this book it's all her work. I'm just a hand and the human behind it.
Now she knows that nobody else can compare to her, right? While she happily chews on the carpet. Now, Cassandra, how has writing this book, how has it like personally impacted you? So many things, I'm sure.
Yes.
We might not have enough time to talk about all of it, but is there one thing?
It's taught me a lot, but I think most of all it's underscored one of my life mottos that if you look hard enough, you'll find a way. Because I did the silly thing around, right? People normally look for publishers first. I decided I'll write the book first because I didn't even know if I can complete it. Or it seemed like such a gargantuous task to do it. And I told myself, okay, for 1 year I'll dedicate 2 hours in the morning. I'll wake up at 4 every day and do this. And when I was done, I couldn't find a publisher. I went knocking on doors. Some told me, don't think our readers will be interested, or your message is all over the shop.
Sorry, yeah, I'm so rude. Sorry.
Yeah, or that, stuff like, your stuff is all over the shop. I don't know what to do with it, which I mean, it's true. My writing is not fantastic, and this is the first time I'm attempting something like this. But I'm glad that I kept on the search, and if you look hard enough, the way will show itself, and that way comes in the shape of ethos.
Yay, ethos! Yay! There's a big thank you speech coming up for ethos later, so I'll keep that. Thank you so much, Cassandra. I mean, really, I think the book has, personally impacted me a lot.
Thank you.
It's very beautiful writing, and I think really straight from the heart. Gives us a beautiful picture of your experiences. Sometimes very hard to read, but also showing that kind of your courage to write it also inspires us, to think about how can we go forward as a society to be really and truly inclusive. So at this point in time, I want to just open the questions to the floor. Is there anybody who has burning questions for Cassandra? We'll try to consolidate the questions so that Cassandra can address your questions. Anybody? Oh, very shy, right? Oh, we'll ask her later.
Don't worry, Esme won't come out and bite you.
Yes, we have a question from the back. Yes, sir? Maybe you can just, if you can just project your voice.
Still fitting with song. So I just try.
There we go. Okay, we have a mic there.
Hi, my name is Varun. I've had the chance to work with Cassandra for a while before. So there also were some times when I've been with Cassandra where businesses do say that they allow guide dogs. But we met one instance where even the manager actually wanted to turn her away. So just wondering whether this is still a thing that's happening 7 years later from now. And how do you manage that, Cassandra?
Okay. Just making sure that you can still hear me with this mic. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yes, it still happens, I have to say, but okay, this way.
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is a lot better than where it was. One of the things that I don't think we managed to speak about and touch on earlier, and I thank you for that question, is that what kind of prompted me to be an advocate 7.5 years ago now, when I was facing so much trouble practically everywhere I went. I couldn't get to the A&E, I couldn't go to the police station, but today I can go to many of these places without any issues. Are there still problems, as I've written in the book? Yes, a lot less. Just not too long ago, an incident I wrote about in the book, a security guard asked me to carry the dog in my arms. If you are blind, you need to bring a lock. Not quite possible and also strong, but it's a lot less. And what's most heartwarming is especially when I'm on an MRT train or on Orchard Road and I hear little children tell their parents that, hey, that's a guide dog, it helps a blind person get around, so don't disturb it, don't touch it. And to hear that kind of thing in 7.5 years from big lock, get out 7 years ago is a huge improvement, and I'm honestly very, very touched.
Fantastic. In fact, when I was with you just I think a couple of months ago, we experienced this as well. And somebody saying that animals are not allowed in a particular place.
Yep.
So it's still,
it still happens, but
yeah,
it's
it still
not
happens.
as bad. And even earlier this afternoon when I dropped into Ion for a quick lunch before coming down at Ya Kun, I sat down and the manager came up to me and 不可以带狗 But the gentleman next to me in...
Okay, 代沟 for our friends who don't speak Chinese is cannot bring dog.
Yeah. So a gentleman that was sitting next to me whose Mandarin is just as bad as mine struggle. 他忙的，他看不到，要需要狗帮忙。
Which
So
means she's blind and
yeah.
she needs a dog to help her.
Yeah, correct. So in the end, the manager was okay, and it was no big deal. So a lot more people understand what guide dogs are, and they stand up and speak up about guide dogs.
That's fantastic. Now, anybody else who wants to ask any questions? There we go. Okay, the mic is coming to you.
Hi, Cass. I'm Lily. Hi. Hi. Okay. Whatever you say, I'm experiencing all these things, and I just not too long ago had people coming up to me and say, "Why do you need a dog? You blind, stay at home," and stuff like that. Okay. And your incident with Zara, I really felt it because I was also thrown out of places, but just that I just take it in my stride and just move on. I mean, to me, is if you don't be kind, then I'll just take my business else. Give someone else the business. But I have not read your book, but from the advocacy work that you do, and I have been doing also quietly, I just wonder, being so vocal with advocacy work, right? Do you attract naysayers? And if you do, right, how do you handle these people? Yeah,
I mean, you will. I often say I walk around with a red laser pointed at my head. And in fact, when I was crowdfunding for Esme's successor in the last couple of months, there have been a lot of negativity as well. That's part and parcel, unfortunately or fortunately, of this job. And some of the comments are very, very derogatory. They are very hurtful. It's not even about disability anymore. My gender and my sex and my body parts are brought into the fray. If any of you want to read, I shan't be mean here. You could just go to Hardware Zone. And that's just part of it, but how just take it with a pinch of salt and move on. To me, what's more important is the many, many other people that are hearing the message. And there are many more people that are supportive of service animals in public places today. And as I said, the premise of the book isn't only about guide dogs. That's just one very small part of the equation. She's just the rocket. She's just the accelerator that brought all the good, the bad, and the ugly up to the surface very, very quickly because she's just too cute.
Yes, as you know it.
Yeah, but it's more the Asian attitudes towards disabilities. If we can accept that persons with disability deserve a place in this shared world for us, and equal opportunities in terms of education, in terms of employment, then these issues will be kind of less. I'm not saying they'll disappear, okay, I'm realistic. They will still be there, but they'll be less.
And there are always a lot of silent supporters. It's just that we don't always hear from them.
Absolutely. Yes. And many of them are testament in the book.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anybody else with a burning question for Cassandra? No? Okay, well, she's going to be around and she's going to be signing the books later, so you can still talk to her if you want. At this point in time, just for a while, I'm going to hand over the mic to Cassandra. I think there are some thank yous that she wants to say. Any last words from you, Cassandra?
I think, first and foremost, I hope everyone enjoys my little effort in reading this book. I would very much like to thank Ethos for supporting me on this journey, and many, many friends that have also supported me on this journey. I'm very, very thankful that for the first time in Singapore, the Braille version of a singlet book will be launched at the same time, and it's off to the side. You can take a look at it later. But most of all, because as many of you know, after 7.5 fateful years, Esme and I are divorcing. And it's been a roller coaster ride, but I'm very, very thankful to everything that she's done, because she's shown me truly what it means to be inclusive. She never ever dragged me by my shirt sleeve and or physically manhandle me into a seat. She's always guided me with dignity, which is something I think all of us do deserve too.
Thank you so much, Cassandra. A round of applause, everybody, for Cassandra Chiu. Now I'm just gonna. Yes, of course she is. She's, she's like, yeah, okay, I'm retiring. And she knows it, no? She's like, I don't care. Now I'm going to just say thank you again to some people before, I'm going to stand up here, you can see me, before we get on to the signing. I just want to say, of course, thank you to Gateway Theatre, this beautiful, beautiful venue, and the Finger Players for hosting us at this place. Thank you so much. And of course, Ethos again for making this possible. To bring Cassandra's message of inclusivity for the disabled to print and this spirit of inclusion, to bring a place for us to readers in different accessible formats. Like Cassandra said, the Braille format is actually published at the same time, so you can pre-order that. You've got other formats as well, hard, soft copy, paperback, accessible. There's going to be an audio version in the near future as well. So thank you for being so inclusive in your publications. Please support Ethos books. They're amazing. Now, Cassandra also wants to thank the National Council for the Blind Malaysia for their professionalism in making the Braille version of a print book available at the same time as it's launched for the first time in Singapore. And also we want to thank Braille Pets. Braille Pets has been very, very supportive. Where are the people of Braille Pets? Can you all just raise your hands? Thank you so much they've always been so supportive. All the social media presence, they're here today. Have helped to sponsor Cassandra as well. So thank you so much to Braille Pets. Now, at this point in time, I just want to invite Minister of State, Mr. Sam Tan, to come over and take a photo with Cassandra and Esme. MOS, can we have you up here? Thank you.
I don't think I should be the only one taking pictures.
All right, VIPs, come on. VIPs, you know who you are. All the front rows, the reserved seat. Yeah, Mr. Sin, Ms. Dwyer, Mr. Dr. Wan. Yes, please. Okay. Kage, come. Okay, click. Anybody wants to come to the front, take a photo?
Eunice, join us.
Oh, okay. You all are doing a good job at being paparazzi, huh? All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much to our VIPs, to our MOS. Thank you so much. Of course, thank you so much to our Minister of State, Mr. Sam Tan, for being here with us, and all our guests as well. Okay, now we just have a few announcements before we proceed to the book signing. You can go to the side of the room right over here. You'll see this.